The story is about Rain, a college student, develops a love-hate relationship with cool senior playboy Payu after Payu helps him, leading Rain to vow to make him fall for him, while Sky, Rain's friend, falls for Playboy CEO Prapai, who becomes devoted to Sky. The series explores their evolving relationships, spicy romance, and much more, and that's exactly what we are going to explore today. The story opens with our two bottom male leads, Rain and Sky, sneaking into a restricted and illegal area around 2 a.m. where a private bike racing event is about to take place. At the same time, we are also introduced to our two top male leads, Payu and Prapai, who are present at this underground bike race. Sky warns Rain that they shouldn't enter a restricted area like this, but Rain tells Sky to stay where he is and moves ahead alone. As he walks forward, Rain wonders who this Payu is and why he's attending such an event. Suddenly, a guard stops Rain and asks if he has permission to enter. Since Rain doesn't have any authorization, he panics and starts running and accidentally crashes into Payu. After this moment, Rain begins explaining how he ended up here, and the story shifts 3 weeks back into a flashback. In the flashback, Rain is driving when heavy rain starts pouring down. In the middle of the road, his car breaks down. That's when Payu appears and helps him fix the car. Rain steps out holding an umbrella and says, "I can't really help you, but at least I can protect you from the rain." Payu fixes the car and finally reveals his face. Rain is completely stunned when he sees him. He blurts out, "You're really handsome." Payu smiles and replies, "Thanks, but you should go home quickly or you'll catch a cold." The next day, Rain excitedly tells his best friend Sky about what happened the night before. He says, "A guy helped me last night. He was so handsome and kind." Sky gets irritated and says, "Enough already, you've told me the same thing 3 times today." Just then, Rain's crush Play arrives and asks Sky for help, which makes Rain feel jealous. Play explains that there's a class activity next month and asks if Sky has the senior student's documents. Sky replies, "I met Payu a few days ago. I already asked him for the documents." As soon as Play hears Payu's name, she gets excited and asks, "Where did he met Payu?" Confused, Rain asks, "Who is this Payu?" Both Sky and Play look at him in shock and say, "You don't know Payu?" Play then explains that Payu was a very famous student at their college. Everyone knew him. While studying there, he won multiple design awards, was the department president for 3 consecutive years, and his assignments were always the best. Most importantly, she adds, he was extremely handsome. She also mentions that Payu is now managing his family business, though no one knows exactly what that business is. At this point, Rain thinks to himself, "Who is this Payu who's also my crush's crush?" Meanwhile, Payu is shown visiting his family garage, where he checks on a racing bike. Back at college, Play continues praising Payu, and even says that her brother admires him even more than she does. Hearing this, Rain sarcastically asks, "Is your brother gay?" Play immediately snaps back, saying, "Praising someone doesn't make them gay, and if he is, what's the problem?" Then she walks away. Sky scolds Rain and tells him, "You should really think before you speak." Rain thinks to himself, "Who even is this Payu? Without ever meeting him, he already got me rejected by my crush." Poor Rain still tries to win his crush over, but she completely ignores him. In the next scene, Rain attends a group dinner with his seniors, where everyone once again starts talking about Payu, which only makes Rain even more curious. One girl says that when Payu was a student in their faculty, he was known as the hottest guy in the entire architecture department. Another senior mentions that Payu has also been invited to the party, though no one knows if he'll actually show up. Just then, Payu arrives and casually asks, "Am I late?" But he doesn't recognize Rain at all, which makes him feel disappointed. After dinner, Rain heads home, but his car refuses to start. Just then, Payu appears again. Rain says, "My car isn't starting. Can you help me?" During this conversation, the two share an intense eye contact, and Payu suddenly says, "If you're trying to seduce me, next time say it more clearly." He then checks the car and explains that the car is damaged and needs to be taken to a garage, then starts to leave. Rain stops him and says, "But I don't have any garage numbers. Can you help me?" Payu replies, "I know a garage, but it's quite expensive." Rain says he can pay. Payu makes a call and arranges for the car to be picked up. Rain again thinks, "I definitely misheard earlier. He's such a good person. He couldn't have meant that." Since it's raining heavily, Payu takes Rain to his place. That's when Rain finds out that Payu owns a garage. Rain suggests discussing the bill, but Payu says, "Come first, let me wipe your hair." While doing that, Payu suddenly pins Rain onto the bed. Shocked, Rain asks, "What are you doing? Are you gay?" Payu replies, "No, I'm bi, and you were the one who started seducing me. At the party, you kept looking only at me. You were the one who grabbed my hand later." Rain pushes him away and says, "I wasn't seducing you. I didn't know such a personality was hiding behind that handsome face." He tries to leave, but it's still raining outside. Payu says, "I'm not really in the mood either. You can sleep on the sofa." However, he can't sleep properly on the sofa, so he quietly comes and sleeps beside Payu. The next morning, Rain wakes up and feels relieved, thinking that nothing happened during the night. But then, Payu wakes up and immediately starts flirting again. Annoyed, Rain says, "You're such a jerk." Payu replies, "Then see just how big of a jerk I am," and kisses him. Rain warns him, "Just wait, I'll tell everyone about you." Next day, Rain gets a call from the garage saying that the servicing is complete and he can come pick up his car. Rain asks Sky, "If I go to the garage, I'll run into him and I don't want to see him." Rain goes to the garage to talk about the payment. A mechanic named An comes and tells Rain that Payu isn't free and asks if Rain wants to meet him. Rain says no and asks for the total cost. An says, "You're his guy, so the service is free." He also adds that Payu personally handled the entire servicing. Rain immediately says, "I'm not his guy, and who knows, maybe he messed up my car on purpose." An gets offended and says, "How can you doubt his work?" He then points to a racing bike and explains that this is a millionaire's racing bike. He gets it serviced only by Payu. In the next scene, Rain arrives at college and notices a huge crowd. As he moves forward, he sees Payu asking around about him. Rain tries to run away, but Payu catches him and says, "I've been looking for you." Rain asks, "What are you doing here?" Payu replies, "You haven't paid your debt yet." Rain reminds Payu that he himself said that repair was free. Payu steps closer and says calmly that he doesn't like boys with bad manners. Just then, a few students approach, so Rain quickly pulls Payu inside to hide. Payu keeps moving closer, clearly enjoying the moment. Rain panics and asks what he's doing. Payu tells him to keep his voice down, or people will realize they're hiding together, and then imagine what they'll think. Smirking, he adds that if Rain politely asks, "Payu, please let me go," then he might actually let him go. Rain finally gives in and politely asks him to let him go. Payu makes him promise that he'll never talk rudely again. Once Rain agrees, Payu lets him go and casually says that he only came to collect his date, meaning the repair cost. Then he leaves. Later, Rain approaches Paul's brother and asks if he's close to Payu and whether he knows Payu's weakness. Paul's brother says Payu is his idol, and even if he knew his weakness, why would he tell Rain? Sky quickly apologizes on Rain's behalf and tells him to calm down first. Meanwhile, Payu and Pai are practicing bike racing. Pai notices the weather and says it might rain, so they should stop. Payu says he doesn't mind. Then Pai notices Rain's name on Payu's phone and teasingly asks if Rain has started to matter to him. The story jumps back to the beginning, the same scene shown at the beginning. Rain and Sky secretly enter a restricted area where illegal bike racing is happening. Despite Sky warning him, Rain keeps going, forcing Sky to follow.
Guards start chasing Rain, and while running, he crashes straight into Payu. Payu immediately tells the guards that Rain is with him. When the guard insists on reporting it to the boss, Payu sends him away, saying he'll handle it. As soon as they're alone, Payu drags Rain aside and scolds him, asking if he's trying to ruin his future. He warns Rain that illegal street race organizers are extremely powerful and can make someone disappear without a trace. Rain, teary-eyed, apologizes and admits he only wanted revenge. Payu tells him that not everything ends with a sorry and that Rain needs to grow up instead of crying like a fool all the time. Angry, Rain snaps back, saying Payu always calls him stupid. Then, impulsively, Rain kisses him and declares that he'll make Payu fall in love so deeply that he'll never call him stupid again. Payu kisses him back and tells him he'll wait. Payu thinks to himself that he never wanted to involve Rain this deeply, yet here he is. The next day, Rain regrets everything he said the night before. Payu shows up and asks if Rain is giving up already. Rain confidently says no, he'll make Payu fall in love no matter what. Payu smirks, hands him some clothes, and asks if he's checked the size. Rain gets irritated when he realizes it's underwear. Later, Payu invites him for breakfast, watching him quietly before teasing him again about the size. Rain, meanwhile, is dying of embarrassment. Payu drops Rain home and asks if his parents are inside. He leans closer and Rain asks, "What are you doing?" Payu opens the seatbelt and asks, "Why do you think I'm going to kiss you?" Rain denies it and says Payu doesn't even like you. Payu agrees and adds that he doesn't think Rain can win his heart. Rain, offended, tells him not to underestimate him and boldly declares that he'll make Payu fall in love within 1 month. Payu just smiles. Later, Rain complains to Sky and writes his mission on the board: how to approach him in 30 days. Sky suggests the first step: meet him every day. Rain tries, visiting the garage for several days straight, but Payu isn't there. Rain gets upset. Then, Rain receives a message from Payu saying there's an easy way to meet him. Just think. Rain rushes to the garage and waits for hours. Sci-fi appears and warns Rain that Payu isn't as simple as he looks, and that Rain isn't the first person in his life. Rain says he's not scared. When Payu finally arrives, Rain tries to leave, but Payu teases him, saying Rain waited 2 hours just to see his face for 2 minutes. Payu takes Rain to dinner, teasing him the entire time. Payu tells Rain not to come to the garage without calling first, and jokes about calling him cute boy instead of stupid. Rain blushes. Rain stays up late finishing his assignment, but the next day he oversleeps. His teacher refuses to accept his assignment and humiliates him in front of everyone. Broken and soaked in rain, Rain goes to Payu's garage, questioning why he's even there. Seeing Rain drenched and miserable, Saifa brings him inside and calls Payu. When Payu finally shows up, Rain runs straight into his arms and hugs him tightly. Payu immediately comforts him, and slowly, Rain's mood starts to lift. But once Rain calms down, Payu switches to scolding mode. He tells Rain that being a student and still being so careless about his work isn't right. Rain admits his mistake and says he's realized it now. Payu gently wipes Rain's wet hair and tells him to ask properly next time. He doesn't want him to get sick. Then, Payu tells Rain not to come to the garage anymore, as he doesn't want Rain wasting time there instead of studying. Payu wants Rain to become responsible and serious about his work. Later, a senior tries to cheer Rain, thinking he's upset because of the teacher's harsh words, and even offers him dinner. Rain refuses. Paul also invites him out, and he refuses again. That's when Sky bluntly asks if Rain has stopped liking Paul and if the person he's trying to approach in 30 days is actually Payu. Sky says Rain is already falling for him. After that, Rain throws himself fully into his classes and assignments. He keeps hoping Payu will call, but neither of them reaches out. Meanwhile, Payu's colleague notices his bad mood and asks if it's about a love problem. Payu says they're not even a couple yet and mentions that Rain is a first-year architecture student. On the other side, Rain tells Sky that even if he doesn't fully understand his feelings, he knows one thing: he won't give up easily. Rain goes to the garage again. Payu ignores him at first. then reminds him that he told him not to come. Rain says he just wanted to see him and isn't disturbing anyone. Payu argues that Rain could work at a cafe instead. Rain replies that he wants to work here. Later, sci-fi tells Payu that pushing Rain away too much might make him never come back. Payu confidently says Rain won't leave him. Time passes. Rain studies hard, submits assignments early, and slowly earns confidence. One night, Payu sees Rain asleep over his work and is genuinely impressed. He praises him softly and teases him not to seduce him, then wakes him up when he realizes he's pretending to sleep. Just as Payu leans in, Saifa interrupts and awkwardly tells them to close the door next time. Rain finishes his next assignment 2 days early and rushes to the garage, excited, only to find Payu isn't there. Saifa takes him to where Payu is preparing for the upcoming race, explaining how Payu works non-stop despite being exhausted. Soon after, Rain confidently presents his work in class. This time, even the teachers praise him. That evening, Rain waits in the rain again, this time just to tell Payu the good news. When Payu arrives and sees him drenched, Rain excitedly tells him about the praise and asks if he's considered responsible now. Payu pulls him inside, apologizes for making him wait, kisses him, and their romance deepens. Rain insists he didn't come for this, he just wanted to share his achievement. Payu says he knows and keeps going anyway.
The next morning, Payu wakes up first, watches Rain sleep for a while, tucks him in gently, and leaves. Rain wakes up later, rushes home after a call from his mom, and later falls sick with fever. Payu can't reach him and panics, eventually showing up at his house. Rain explains everything, and Payu hugs him tightly, telling him never to disappear like that again. That night, Payu stays over. He jokingly tells Rain not to call himself Rain anymore. Rain teases back, asking if he should call himself Payu's wife. Payu says no, they're just senior and junior. Then he adds that Rain's time to win his heart is over. Rain panics until Payu smiles and says, "Because now it's my turn to win yours." From that moment on, they're officially inseparable. Payu puts a helmet on Rain's head and asks teasingly, "So, staying here or going to watch a movie with your boyfriend?" He tightens the strap, tells Rain to hold on tight, and then smirks, warning him not to grab anywhere else unless he wants to suffer later that night. After the movie, Payu asks Rain out for dinner and keeps teasing him about what he wants to eat. Rain starts getting irritated, so Payu laughs and promises to behave. Just then, Sky walks out and freezes when he sees them holding hands. He raises an eyebrow and asks, "Anything you want to tell me?" Rain admits that he and Payu are dating. Sky smiles and says he already knew, he was just waiting for Rain to tell him himself. Payu calmly says he's not jealous, he knows Rain and Sky are best friends. Then he casually asks, "By the way, who's Play?" Rain immediately tries to change the topic. Payu pretends to be offended. Rain finally admits that Play was his crush, but not anymore. Later, Safa asks Payu if he'll take Rain to the next race, since Payu is Paquin's favorite. Rain also asks excitedly, and Safa agrees. At the racing spot, Payu tells Rain that if anyone asks, he should say he's Payu's wife. He explains that this is the kind of race where people bet everything, fame, wealth, even lovers, but no trouble is allowed. Paquin's right-hand man approaches, and Rain immediately hides behind Payu. Payu introduces him proudly as his boyfriend. Soon, the same guy Payu fought with earlier shows up, talking trash. Safa challenges him to race. The guy agrees. During the race, he loses badly and starts accusing Payu of cheating, then blames the bike. When he insults the bike by spitting on it, Payu snaps. Not because he was called a mechanic, but because the bike was disrespected. Rain calms him down with sweet words and kisses him, and the tension melts into pure romance. Later, at the garage, Rain is working when Payu brings him juice. Rain jokes that this is all the reward he gets, so Payu kisses him. Safa arrives with news. That same guy has challenged Payu again. Rain begs him not to accept, but Payu convinces him and promises he'll come back safe. At the race, Rain compliments how cool Payu looks in his racing suit. Payu teases him and makes Rain help put on his gloves. The guy insults Payu again, which makes Rain furious. Now he demands Payu wins. Payu kisses him and says, "Now I have to."
Payu wins easily. Rain runs to him and kisses him openly. Both have a passionate lovemaking session, openly expressing their feelings. Later, wrapped in each other's arms, Rain asks about Payu's parents, but he's sleepy. Payu tells him to sleep, then softly says Rain wants to listen because he wants to know him better. Rain admits it. He's falling in love. Payu smiles knowingly. The next morning, Rain makes breakfast while Payu gets ready for work. Seeing Rain in shorts, Payu teases him for seducing him so early. Rain asks when he'll be back. Payu says soon, and jokes that they're acting like a married couple. Rain blushes hard. That evening, Rain goes out to buy snacks but gets kidnapped. Payu keeps calling, panicking when Rain doesn't answer. Later, Payu finally calls, screaming for help. The kidnapper demands Payu come alone. Despite Safa trying to stop him, Payu goes. The situation turns violent. The kidnapper forces Payu to kneel and hurts him, but Paquin's men arrive just in time. A flashback reveals Payu had secretly given his phone to Safa earlier, allowing them to track the location. Afterwards, Rain apologizes for everything. Payu tells Rain none of it matters as long as Rain is safe. That's all he cares about. At home, Rain treats Payu's wounds. Payu casually says he fell in love with Rain all over again when Rain hit the kidnapper. Rain asks, "So, you love me?" Payu smiles. "Didn't you know?" Rain says he couldn't know until Payu said it. So Payu finally says it. "I love you." Rain replies instantly, "I love you too." Later, Sky casually tells their friends that Rain is in a relationship. Everyone teases Rain, demanding to know who his partner is. When Payu arrives, he announces confidently, "I'm here to pick up my partner." Everyone is stunned when Rain leaves with him. As they walk away, Payu asks Rain if he still likes Play. Rain says no and adds that Play was clearly staring at Payu. Payu replies calmly, "I don't care how she looks at me, I care how you look at me." Rain and Payu promise they will never cheat on each other. Next day, Payu's friend Prapai, who is also a biker, visits them and asks Rain who was the boy with you at the racing arena. Then we are shown the flashback of the day when Rain and Sky snuck into the biking event. Both had an accidental encounter in which Prapai saved him from the guards, and both end up having a one-night stand. That night turns into something neither of them had planned. There are no promises, no soft words, no expectations. When it's over, Sky quietly gets dressed and starts to leave, clearly wanting to disappear from Pai's life forever. The next day, Pai finds himself smiling for no reason at all. Sky's innocent face keeps appearing in his thoughts. Meanwhile, Sky is stuck in his own thoughts, wondering why bad things always seem to happen to him. He doesn't even tell Rain about the encounter. Days pass, then weeks. Pai realizes something strange. Every single day, Sky is still in his mind. No matter how busy he is, no matter how many people surround him. On the other hand, Sky forces himself to forget that night, convincing himself it meant nothing and that holding on would only hurt him. At the same time, Pai, known for being a playboy, is with someone new, clearly invited for another casual night. But today is different. For the first time, Pai refuses. He leaves, confused by his own decision. In the next scene, Pai is racing his bike at high speed, adrenaline pumping. But even then, Sky's face flashes through his mind. Frustrated, he tells Safa, "He just won't leave my head, and if that's the case, then I'm not letting him go." Pai finally calls Sky. At first, there's complete silence on the line. Sky is about to hang up when Pai suddenly teases him. Sky says coldly, "If this is a wrong number, I'm hanging up." Pai calls again immediately and laughs, "You're pretty cold-hearted, but it's okay, you're cute too. And just so you know, I'm going to approach you properly." Then he hangs up.
Sky stares at his phone, confused and annoyed. Now that they've entered their second year, the college is hosting a welcome event for freshers. After the event ends, Sky looks around and freezes. Pai is there. Panicking, Sky tries to hide, but before he can escape, Rain arrives and casually introduces him to Pai. In that moment, Sky realizes exactly how Pai got his number. Rain offers to walk Sky back to the dormitory, but Sky refuses, telling him to spend time with Payu instead. Pai offers to drop Sky off, but Sky immediately says no. Pai leans closer and says quietly, "Or do you want Rain to find out about us?" Left with no choice, Sky agrees. Pai drops him outside the dorm, but doesn't let him go inside right away. Sky snaps, telling him it would be better if he flirted with someone else. Pai replies calmly, I'm serious about approaching you. What if we forget everything and start fresh? He starts asking about Sky's full name, family, friends, favorite things, trying to learn everything at once. Completely irritated, Sky says, "I'll tell you all that in my next life," and walks away. Pai watches him leave and smiles. The next day, Sky confronts Rain and forces him to apologize on his knees for giving out his number. Rain promises he'll never do it again. Later, when Sky returns to his dorm, the house owner hands him a bouquet, saying a boy left it for him. Sky goes to his room, calls Pai, and says, "Take your flowers back, I don't want them." Pai replies softly, "Do you know why I gave you sunflowers? Because they always turn toward the sky." The story then shows Pai with his siblings, revealing how deeply he loves and cares for them. On the other side, Sky opens his fridge, completely empty. With a sigh, he goes out shopping and unexpectedly runs into Pai again. Pai teases him, asking if he didn't like the flowers. He flirts casually, joking around, until he says, "I think I'm going crazy because of you." That sentence triggers something deep inside Sky, memories he doesn't want to remember. Pai noticed immediately and asks if he's okay. Finally, Sky explodes. He tells Pai he's wasting his time, that if he wants to spend the night with someone, he should find someone else. He admits that night only happened because he had no other option and begs Pai to leave him alone. Pai asks softly, "What if I say I'm serious about you?" Sky laughs bitterly and replies, "A playboy like you can't be serious about anyone," and walks away. Later, Pai asks Rain for a favor. Rain confronts Sky, asking why he didn't say Pai was approaching him. Sky replies Rain never asked and that he doesn't even like Pai. That night, Sky has a terrible nightmare and wakes up shaking. As he tries to calm himself, Pai messages him, "I'm going on a business trip for a week, don't miss me." Sky smiles unconsciously, then catches himself and immediately blocks Pai's number. Meanwhile, Pai lays awake thinking about the fear he once saw in Sky, wondering what kind of pain made him like that. "Why am I thinking about him so much?" he wondered. The next morning, Pai was already waiting for Sky. When Sky arrived, he raised an eyebrow. "You were supposed to be on a business trip." Pai smiled, a little sheepishly. "I didn't go. How could I leave without seeing your face?" He handed Sky some breakfast before leaving, still with a playful glint in his eyes. The following day, Sky felt unwell during class. His head spun and he fainted. On the other hand, Pai returned frustrated because he had already switched SIM cards 7 times in the past week just to reach him. Calling from another number, he asked Rain, "How is Sky?" Rain explained, "We were taking him from the hospital to the dormitory. I wanted to stay with him, but I had assignments and I don't have his parents' contact. Can I trust you?" Pai immediately promised, "Nothing will happen to him, I swear." Pai reached Sky's side, sitting quietly. He confessed, almost to himself, "I can't believe how worried I am about you. I don't even worry this much for my siblings." Sky, weak and vulnerable, gripped Pai's hand. "Don't leave me." Pai hugged him tightly. "I'm right here," he whispered. Then he looked into Sky's eyes and wondered why they always held tears. How can I help him? He thought. He remembered he had promised Rain he wouldn't do anything inappropriate. Instead, he carefully took Sky's clothes for cleaning. The next day, he called his father, explaining he couldn't go to work because his boyfriend was unwell. When his father teased, questioning he was playing around, Pai firmly said, "I'm serious about him." Sky woke up during this, and seeing Pai there, he told him to leave. Sky tried to stand, but Pai insisted he relax and stop worrying about assignments. Pai stayed by his side, working quietly while caring for him. Sky, finally feeling the warmth of genuine care, started to feel better. The next day, Sky told him, "I'm recovered now, you can leave." Pai replied, a little hurt, "I cared for you all night, and now you act like I'm useless?" Sky asked, "What exactly do you want?" Pai said, "I just want one thing. Don't block me. Don't avoid me. Reply sometimes to my messages." Then he left. Later, he even made sure some food was stocked in Sky's fridge and reminded him to eat on time. Pai invites Sky to dinner. Sky tries to refuse, but Pai insists, explaining his siblings would bother him if he left.
The conversation turned to family. Pai revealed he had 3 close siblings and promised to introduce Sky someday. Next, we see Pai in his office, constantly checking his phone. His assistant urged him to call Sky. Pai asked when he could visit Sky's room that evening. Sky asked if he should bring food. Pai jokingly asked if he would even bring Chinese food from Beijing if he insisted. Sky laughed, realizing how under Pai's spell he already was.
The next day, Pai asked his assistant what food he should order for Sky and messaged him. Sky replied, teasing, "You stay free all day. Don't you do anything productive or earn money?" Pai laughed. Later, Pai came over to help Sky again. Sky handed him cleaning tasks, first the bathroom, then the room. Pai did everything without complaint, even as Sky teased him constantly. "Won't you ever get bored of me?" Sky asked. Pai hugged him tightly. "I don't know, but I never want to be." Sky pinned him on the bed playfully. "I won't stop you anymore." Pai protested lightly. "Wait, I didn't come here for this reason. I just came to see you." Sky smiled, leaning in to kiss him. "Then consider this your permission." They spent a sweet, playful time together. Pai teased him about his school and high school experiences, and Sky ended up sharing a story about his ex. Later, he came to pick Sky up from college. Sky noticed a little wind symbol pin Pai was wearing and realized Pai had proudly told everyone that he was reserved. Pai teased him further. "If you don't like this pin, I could leave a love bite on my neck too, so everyone knows I'm reserved for you." In another scene, Pai was helping Sky with his assignment when he slightly injured his finger. Sky panicked, immediately bandaging it. Pai just smiled and teased, "If you kiss me, the injury will heal faster." Sky obliged. Soon after, Pai took Sky to his apartment for a friend's birthday. Sky explored the apartment, and Pai said warmly, "Do you like this place? I'll give it to you. This apartment holds so many memories. It's where we spent our first night together." Sky said softly, "But I wasn't your first." The scene shifted to Pai taking Sky to a birthday party where the birthday boy started flirting with him. At that exact moment, Sky came in to use the restroom and witnessed the scene. Overwhelmed, he began to cry. Meanwhile, Pai turned to the boy and said firmly, "Now I have a boyfriend, and I'm serious about him, so don't waste your time on me," and walked away. After this, Sky began ignoring Pai. No replies to messages, no answering calls. Pai, frustrated, went to Sky's place, only to be told by the house owner that Sky hadn't been around for days. Anger and worry mixed within him. He changed his number and called Sky. "Why are you ignoring me?" Sky replied coldly, "Because I'm bored of you. I don't want any relationship with you anymore." Pai's eyes welled up with tears. "There's no way someone like him could just leave. I can't give up on him." The next scene showed Sky packing to move to a new dorm, but his thoughts were consumed by Pai. When he reached his room, he couldn't find his diary. Pai, already there, noticed him searching. "Looking for this?" he asked, picking up the diary. Pai began reading Sky's heartfelt entries, where Sky had expressed his deepest feelings. He looked at Sky and said, "Now tell me, should I believe this diary or your words?" Sky couldn't hold back the tears. Pai stepped closer. "I don't just like you anymore. I love you. Tell me, what do you feel for me?" Sky hugged him tightly. "I love you too." They finally talked openly. Sky admitted, "At the party, I saw you getting close to that guy. I'm afraid that you will get bored of me. Don't worry, I can never get bored of you." Later, they informed Rain that they were officially a couple. Rain couldn't believe it. "You didn't prank my friend, did you? You're too dramatic," he joked. A flashback showed Sky's time in Bangkok. He had made new friends who introduced him to smoking and drinking. One day at a bar, a boy named Gun approached him. They entered a relationship, but Gun became abusive. Things escalated when Gun's friends assaulted Sky in front of him. That night, Sky's trauma peaked. Back in the present, shaken, Sky called Pai. Pai asked if he was okay. Sky says he's missing him. Pai immediately reached there, and Sky hugged him tightly, saying, "Promise me you'll never leave me." Pai promises while kissing him softly.
The scene changed to the next day when Sky and Rain surprised Pai on his racing event. Meanwhile, Sky remembered he had left his phone in Rain's car. While retrieving it, he spotted his ex again. Gun taunts Sky that a playboy like Pai could never be serious with someone foolish like him. Sky pushed him away and walked off, thinking Pai isn't that type of person. I have to tell him everything about my ex. At that moment, Rain arrived and says, Pai is racing right now. One of the guys said you should wait at his apartment. When Sky went to Pai's room, he found Gun and his friends already there. Gun forcefully pinned Sky on the bed, sneering, I don't know what Pai saw in you to make you his boyfriend, but now you'll understand what kind of person he really is. He gave us the access card to your room. Otherwise, how could we get in? Sky confronted him. You're lying. Then Gun began misbehaving further with Sky. Meanwhile, Pai finished his race. Payu informed him that Sky wasn't feeling well and Rain had gone to pick him up. Rain confirms that he had left him at his apartment. Pai immediately understood Gun's trap and rushed to the room. There, he saw Gun and Sky on the bed. Gun protested, It's not my fault. He seduced me first. Pai glared, then turned to Sky. Say something. Sky whispered, Can't I be only yours? Pai hugged him tightly. You can. Stay with Rain for now, and then vented his anger by confronting Gun. After that, he returned to Sky, asking, Are you okay? If you want to cry, cry, but don't be afraid. I'm here. Sky, traumatized, had no tears left. Sky hugged him, finally crying. The next morning, Sky woke up and thanked Pai. Thanks for getting me out of that nightmare. Pai replied, Even if I couldn't help then, I'll always be by your side from now on. I'll care for you. And they shared a tender kiss. 1 month later, Sky saw a family photo of Pai and asked, Are these your uncles? I always listen to their interviews. Can I meet them? Pai laughed. Okay, but stop staring at them. I get jealous. Later, Sky and Rain were hanging out, looking glum. Sky said, Pai's whole family likes me and wants to spend time with me, yet Pai gets jealous of his own family. Rain replied, I get jealous too. That day at the costume play event, Payu's outfit was so cool that all the juniors were focused on him and taking pictures with him. Sky laughed. It's not just that, you're hiding something. Rain teased, Have you ever called Pai Daddy? Sky remembered a flashback where he had his phone and Payu teased him to stop wasting time and focus. Sky replied, You're behaving like my daddy, leading to a fun flashback scene. Meanwhile, Payu in the pilot outfit continued teasing Rain about his anger. Payu asked Rain why he was angry, but Rain refused to explain and teased him to wear a pilot costume. But Payu steps out in towel and says, You'll definitely get a punishment for doubting me, and kisses him. Later, they all have dinner together. Rain tells Sky, So you knew these two would follow us here. Sky replies, Yes, because you told everyone about our trip in the group chat, and Payu is also in that group. After that, Rain and Payu spend some sweet time together. Meanwhile, Pai asked Sky, Did you like the beach? How would it feel if we chose our wedding venue here? I want to propose you, but I'll do it whenever you're ready. Sky kisses him in response.
Then, the four of them have a lot of fun together, and this marks the beautiful ending of their story. If you have liked the video, please comment your thoughts and subscribe to support us. I'll see you in the next video.